So we just mentioned Nvidia just pulling back a bit, but hitting a fresh record high yesterday on a multi-session win streak. I want to ask you, what do you think the catalyst is for this upside move from Nvidia? A couple weeks ago, we were seeing a lot of volatility. Then we saw Jensen Huang coming out talking about the moat, talking about incredible demand, and then boom, here we go.
The word incredible is not exactly a number, right? So, I think a lot of what we're seeing right now is the fact that people love Jensen and there still aren't a ton of other great places to put the money. You have all of these indexes that have to buy when the stock goes up because, Nvidia for a lot of these indexes is the index. And so I think that there's not some big news here. I think that his comments made people excited that even if the chips are maybe a little bit behind timing wise where people thought they would be, that there is demand for them. But remember, their customers basically are kind of forced to buy the new chips if they want to stay in business with Nvidia. And for right now, you have to stay in business with Nvidia. I think that changes in a couple of years, but until we get there, until there are other chip designers who are doing similar things, I think that Nvidia is going to continue this massive lead that does make me a little nervous because I do think it's a little frothy when you look at, things like the PE ratio, but it's a solid business and people really love Jensen.
All right, so you think it's a little frothy. Again, shares up double digits just this month alone. I want to ask you, you mentioned the term being a little bit behind. I think you're talking about the rollout of the next generation of chips. What about that AMD event? So people were certainly not wowed by it. It was a nice event, and it seemed like Lisa Su made a pretty decent case. But it also seemed clear to a lot of people, talking to analysts, reading a lot of notes, that it's just pretty clear that AMD's a couple steps behind Nvidia. Do you think that's also part of this the surge that we're seeing in Nvidia, the sense that maybe the moat's even bigger than we previously thought?
It's not so much that the technology mode is bigger, it's that it takes a long time to make these things. They are designing some of the most advanced technology ever in the history of the world. It takes a while. And so I think that the AMD certainly will catch up over time. I think that, there are a lot of new chip designers, private companies, as well as public companies that, even the Apples of the world that are quietly working on these things. But the reality is once you're in the trenches, chip design is not very exciting or sexy. What Nvidia has managed to do is make it exciting, and that is their ultimate market trick. But a lot of these other CEOs, I think, struggle to sell the story as convincingly.
So, Sarah, is this a chip story or is this an ecosystem story? Because that's the other thing that Jensen Huang's really been trying to sell to investors, that it's an entire ecosystem, kind of similar to what we saw from Microsoft and Intel back in the day, but Nvidia seemingly a one-stop shop.
I don't know if people are as eager to use NVIDIA's AI technology as they are to use NVIDIA's AI chip design. I don't know if you have to be an ecosystem, but I think that in Silicon Valley, that is sort of the goal, right? Even like Elon Musk with his everything app that he's been trying to build since he bought Twitter. And so I think they like that story. I suspect the market kind of thinks it's a nice to have, but knows that at the end of the day that the chips are where you get the premium right now, where you get the margin, and that's the most important part. If the ecosystem, if the AI assistance, if everything else works, like great, good for Jensen. That's sort of his passion project, but everybody's here for the chips.
All right. Again, Nvidia shares down just about 1% in the pre-market, but we're looking at the year to date up over 175%. So you're saying it's a bit frothy. So I have to ask you, where's the risk at when it comes to Nvidia? We do have to mention it is a cyclical stock. Chips are cyclical stocks. They have ups and downs. Do you see risk in earnings season, or is there something beyond earnings season that in your mind could create, a possible pullback or possible risk for this stock?
I mean, I think the biggest kind of macro risk that has nothing to do with the company is just at some point people want to lock in these tremendous gains that they've made. But I think the other risks are really tied to things like the other companies catching up. I think margin risk is a huge thing because this is a company that's been able to command tremendous margins because there aren't a ton of competitors. As these competitors catch up, that margin shrink will happen, and I don't know if it'll be as much of a darling. And then the other piece of it is You mentioned that it's closer to overtaking Apple, but the reality is they trade at such a higher multiple than Apple that if you kind of right leveled those, they wouldn't be anywhere near taking over Apple. And so I think that there's also a risk in the market that people feel like they're too expensive. And so I don't think that this is a bad name. They're designing great chips. I think that it is a name that is going to struggle to continue to see the dominance it's seen on the street. That
Okay.
being said, I've been saying that for 6 months and I've been wrong the whole time.
All right, just really quick, we do have earnings season coming up. The hyperscalers report, a number of other companies report. So it sounds like you expect CapEx spending to remain at similar levels that we've seen in previous quarters. So earnings season, in your mind, not really a risk when it comes to Nvidia.
I don't think that that's going to be the big risk there. I think if they have to delay the chip launch, that could certainly make people a little bit concerned. But I don't think there's a big earnings surprise based on what his comments have been recently.